Hi guys, continue video. So today we'll continue with the map creation process, and today we'll actually focus on the fourth and fifth point. So we'll try to improve the wildlife a little bit more, and then we'll focus on some basic resources and playability. So let's start with the wildlife. So first thing that you want to do is to swap to natural passive here, even though it's not important for most things that we'll be doing. It's just good to remember it so you don't mess up sometimes. And then we will go to critters here, and we'll choose the deer animal. We'll be placing actually three of them, so we will place the deer, reindeer, and roe deer. So we have some variety, and again, it will be kinda random, so I will press F6 so I see the passability of the ground, because sometimes if you have like uneven terrain somewhere and you place the animal there, then it can create those spots that will be unpassable. So always want to have the F6 enabled so you can see all those mistakes. You can basically place those animals anywhere. Just don't place like 10 of them at the same place. That would be kind of weird. They will run around anywhere, so doesn't really matter where you place them. But I usually like to place those animals in woods, yeah, near some trees at least, so it looks kind of natural, let's say. So as you can see, I'm just placing a few of them, maybe like 15 on the whole map together, and then I will swap to another type. So maybe like one more here, and then we can go from the deer to roe deer. And again, I will place a similar amount. Yeah, maybe not like so close together. Maybe keep some spaces between them, and this way we'll create a wildlife, because right now we have all the static objects, so it would look a little bit not alive, but this will really put the atmosphere there, I would say, so it looks alive more. And here you can see it created this problem, so I will just either fix it with the tool that will increase and decrease the height, or I will just press Ctrl Z and I will just put it somewhere else. And now the last one, which is the reindeer. That's my most favorite one of those three. So maybe we can put a little bit more of them, maybe even outside of those forests, on the just on the road or something. And then we will move to some flying animals, yeah, because there are also birds, and they will add even more life to our map. I think I ignored this area with the roe deer before, but it doesn't really matter. I will just put a little bit more reindeers here, so we can compensate for that. I don't really like to put them in this swamp. You can maybe put some other animals there, or even those deers if you want, but I just don't really like that, so I will just skip that. If you want, you can add it there. Don't need to follow me in each step precisely, of course. Here I can see there is the mistake, so even though there is no animal, I probably forgot it there from the last video. So let's just smooth it out a little bit. And now let's move to the flying animals. So first I would like to put some hogs here. That's like the main animal that I always put there from the flying section. You have to keep in mind that you can place him anywhere. Yeah, you can place it like on the cliff or tree. Doesn't matter if you have the unpassable ground under it, but it will still straighten up the field, let's say. So if you place it here, it will still create this unpassable problem if you have some increased ground. So also keep that in mind. But you can just place more of them here. They will just fly all around. So we could also just put 10 of them in the corner of the map and they would fly around the same way. But I just try to spread them myself anyways, because it will look at least better in the editor. And also maybe it will spread a little bit more in the game as well. I never tested it with the principle that I would just take all of them and put them in the corner or something, but you can try that yourself. I think that will probably work well as well, but if you do it like this, it should be also okay. So this will be the hawks, and there is one more that you can use, that's the pigeon. So that's maybe an animal that I would put here in the city. So maybe let's put few of them here like this. There are also more animals that you can use. Definitely you can use butterflies if you decide to make like an elven forest or something that's like really mystical or something. You can definitely use some butterflies there, that will look pretty good, but in this map I don't really think I will use them. You also have bats, but I think they are kinda stuck, that even in the game they will just stay in this weird position. They will just do this short animation and they will look really stupid, I would say. And a really similar thing applies to seagull, owl and crow. I think all those birds will just stay on one place and they won't move anywhere. Maybe I'm mistaken with some of them, but basically I always use only hawks and pigeons because I know about them that they will just move. Hawk will just fly really slowly around the area, which looks really good, and pigeon will be really fast and small, so it will look not that good, but I mean in the city it looks kinda okay, so I always like to put few of them here. But you can experiment with that. Also there is the chicken, so if you are creating like a farm or a village, definitely a really good idea to put some chickens there. They will actually automatically spawn if you have some empire farms. Yeah, so if you play some farms or the player creates some farms, then some chickens in the game will automatically spawn here. I think those farms spawn the chickens most oftenly, but maybe all of them can do that. But you can place some more chickens there if you want to create even more wildlife. We can also go to the underground. Here it will be probably a little bit more complicated because you don't want to put like deers here. That would look pretty weird. So the animals that I usually use are actually, let's see, what can we use here? I think the most important is the creeper because it's really small creature that doesn't look like intimidating or something. So you can easily put few of them here. You can also use the auto rotate future here, so we don't have to turn them manually, and you can just place few of them around. Of course, don't want to like make them something that would, like an obstacle that would destroy the playability. So just put them near the edges or something where they will be just there for the looks and not for playability purposes. So yeah, I think this should be okay. Maybe like one more here, but here will be the mines, so let's not make it too complicated there. And also one more that you can use here is the cave grazer. Yeah, he even has the cave name in his name, so you can use him. But that looks a little bit intimidating, so someone would might think that he will attack him. But if you put him somewhere like here behind trees, then you can also do that. So maybe like one here. Definitely don't want to fill the whole cave with them. That would look kinda weird. Maybe one more here could be okay. So I think that's the wildlife part. So number 4 is kinda done. That was pretty quick. And now let's move to another part that will be actually the basic resources and playability. I mean, the playability part is kinda already done when we were making sure during the landscaping that everything is possible. So that should be pretty okay, but we will add those resources now. So actually, let's maybe swap to number 1 player because we can already start also making the part number 6, which is entities. So I know that I want to start here as player 1, and maybe before all this we might also set up our players. So I will press Ctrl Enter and open player properties. If you want, you can also go here to scenario, and here you might also find somewhere properties. Oh, sorry, in the player you go to player tab, and here you will have properties on the bottom, and or as I said, you can press Ctrl Enter, and here you will actually need to set up some things. So first we will choose the type. So first will be user only, because of course we want to have the player 1 be the player that plays it. And then if we take a look at the concept art, I have it here on the second monitor. You can see that we'll have one yellow enemy here and one blue enemy here. And basically all those other enemies that are those red X's are just neutral enemies that we don't really need to worry about right now. Maybe later I will decide to make them also a player, but maybe we'll also just keep them as neutral hostile. So right now I won't worry about that. So let's just make 3 players. So first is user only, then triggered AI, and again triggered AI. I haven't decided about races yet, so let's just keep it like this. Then I will change it later. Also, if we decide to make some names, I haven't thought about that. The same is with the end statistics icon. We will definitely change all that. But right now I don't want to change it, but we want to set the start location to fixed. You will click yes. Of course I have it in check, but the left button was yes. So everything is set to fixed, and now we'll need to press OK and actually place all 3 starting positions. As you can see, I already have the number 1 here, but now I will go to players. I will go set start location, and I will change player to player number 2. So you can either go here and click it, or you can use the keybind Shift and then 2. Shift 1 is number 1, Shift 2 is number 2, and then we will place the player somewhere around here according to the concept art, and player 3 will be here. Also, we can go back to the players here and select colors, because I have in the concept art that player 1 should be green, player 2 should be yellow, and player 3 should be blue. So we can also do that. Maybe it's like a darker blue there, but I'm not really sure if I really want to use it. Sorry, not this, but this. But maybe we can do that like it's in the concept art. Of course, save again with Ctrl S, or go to File and Save. And now we will place the starting base. So I don't really want it to be like choosable race. I want to create my own race, which is something we'll do a little bit later, but I haven't decided yet what it will actually be. So let's just start simply with Human Town Hall. We can change it later, and then I will go to neutral, and here we will find resources. It's the third tab in neutral, and we will just place standardly 4 gold fields and 1 gem mine. So let's actually just make it somewhere around here, I would say, or we could place it near the water. As you can see, there is the red area. That's because it's too close to the town hall, so let's just go behind that area, and we can start placing it. So maybe here. The other one should be further away, so maybe like this and this. I think this was pretty good. And also the gems mine, we can place it maybe even here. If I move this stamp like this, we can place it right here. So here we have like the baseline resources. Yeah, as I said, we can maybe replace this later, but I will probably keep the baseline empire faction and just adjust some units or something. but so I can show you how that works, but I will probably be creating that new faction from Empire because it's the easiest, I would say, to adjust. We can also adjust the amount of resources, so you just double click it and rewrite this number, but I will first create resources for all players, and then we can do that. I think I will actually make a barbarian enemy on this position, so let's go back to player properties with Control Enter, and change this guy to Beast, and ourselves to Empire. I mean, it seems like this should be Fallen, but I definitely want to create a human town there, so this will be Empire 2. Maybe we can make some Fallens in the underground as neutral enemies, or they don't have to be there, of course. Always I like to save it as well after I adjust something in the properties. So let's actually make a base, so Beast Stronghold, and here it will be a little bit more difficult because we have those adjusted heights, but I think we should be able to manage that. Let's just make sure that it's making sense. So maybe we can move it like here, move this stamp, and let's make it like this, I think. So everything is accessible, and here will be the gems mine, and of course right now we will just smooth it out. Also I want to have it always smooth around the town hall or stronghold or something, because if I as player conquer this town, I want to be able to build a new town hall here, so definitely this needs to be straight always. So I will straighten it out even around the area. This is just the block that needs to be straight all the time. Same thing applies here, of course. So this should be pretty okay. I will actually check this because I don't think we can build here. So let's just use the smooth tool and smooth it a little bit in this small area in front of my town, so I can actually build some buildings here. We'll probably also need a blacksmith, so this should be okay. And of course then I will make more buildings and units, but first let's move here and create the number 3 town. Also maybe we can move those starting locations. I always like to put them in the starting building. Also if we create some animation here and don't create like move camera command with trigger editor, the animation will start, if we use the basic animation, it will start on our starting location. So I usually want it to be here so I can see my town during the opening animation, of course. So now let's go to player 3 and we will go to buildings, and probably I will choose castle, or even I could use a neutral building, and that will be somewhere around here. I don't actually remember where it is, but I would like to use the Margot Castle. So let's actually go through it. Maybe it's in the human campaign or somewhere. Yeah, actually it's just in the city. So here we have the Margot Castle. Since we want to build like at least town here, I think this will look pretty good. So let's maybe place it like here. Or if I want to have the resources on the right side, I can maybe leave some more space. And I will just use the goods tab here. As you can see, there are two types. So if we place them here, you will see the difference. This first one is just for gold, and this one is for all resources. It's just adjusted according to the gold, and this is only for gems. So you want to use the first one. So let's just delete it and make sure that it's looking pretty decent here. So maybe like this. So that looks pretty good, and then we will also adjust the amounts a little bit later. And I mean, this is already straight, if I'm not mistaken. We didn't adjust the height here, so don't have to worry about that. And then we will maybe place like a cathedral or something, but right now we are not creating that yet. So let's just place the starting location somewhere here. I like to see it, so maybe like in the entrance or something. And the last mine that's supposed to be on this map is in the underground. That will be the only undefended, or I mean not undefended, but only expansion that we can take before we conquer someone. So we can add, of course, here in resources, we can add some mineral fields, which are used to harvest both gold and gems at the same time. And of course, I will maybe adjust my camera a little bit, but you have to keep in mind that in the game it will be somewhere around here. So if I place it like under this edge, I won't be even able to see it. So maybe it's like good idea to place it somewhere around here. Also, we can just again just make a stone keep here, so I can easily see where it's supposed to be built. Then I go to mineral fields and I will just place 4 of them like this. And I mean, it's pretty straightforward right now. I will again smooth it out around it so we can easily build here, delete it, and it's done. So right now let's choose all those and let's change the amount. I think maybe like maybe like 5,000 should be okay, because you can run out of it, but if you want, you can still mine a lot of resources here. So I think 5,000 is enough, but I definitely don't want to be this position like the only expansion that you make. I want you to expand to other towns that you conquer as well. So 5,000 seems like pretty good idea. The base town should be a little bit more. I think we can place like maybe even 15,000 here. That should be pretty okay. And the gems mine maybe like 10,000. That seems pretty fine. This expansion will be probably like the easier to conquer, so maybe like 25,000, because of course you have to keep in mind that before you come here he will also harvest lots of resources from it. So you have to keep that in mind. So we'll put 20,000 in the gems mine. Yeah, 20,000. And then we have those goods, which I mean, that doesn't really matter. I would like to, that can be like unlimited, yeah. Kind of makes sense also that you have lots of resources stored in the city. So maybe like 50,000 seems pretty okay here. So yeah, that seems pretty good. And again, let's save the game. So that's basically the main part here, that we did resources, wildlife, and those baseline entities. And in the next video, we will really focus on the sixth step, and we will definitely place all those hostile entities in the underground or something, create those towns, maybe some villagers and everything, and then we'll finally move to some programming. So we'll go to a trigger editor and start setting up the whole mission so it actually works, because right now we are only working on the looks and not actually the playability. So this is really connected with the second part of step 5. And of course then we will also finish it with some other things, but that's all part of the trigger editor. So this is like together, let's say, but it will definitely take a little bit more than just one video. So next video will be entities, and then we will see how many more videos we'll need to set up this mission. So yeah, thanks for watching and take care, guys.